Okay, so we are coming up on a structure that we're going to explore. Like we saw the structure kind of on the horizon, I guess, and
Yes.
yeah,
This is a continuation of our series on the Minecraft Bedrock Anarchy server 2B2E, and we are continuing our exploration of the highway at the X0 position and in the Z positive direction. As you can see, we're at about 25,824 blocks from spawn.
yes. And right now, I do collect ender chests. As you can see, I have quite a few. Um, but I do leave one behind because they benefit everybody. So I don't take all of them.
Yeah, that's a great thing about the ender chests, for one thing, and their kind of disbursement across this world on this server, is that usually you're not very far away from one, and people are not likely to take all of them or break all of them, because just having them around is a benefit. If you break it, then you kind of screw yourself.
Right. And you need a Silk Touch pickaxe to break it. So you don't really gain anything by breaking one except some obsidian.
However, we can use the ender chests from time to time. So when we take some, we usually leave one for other players coming to that area. And the ones that we take, we're not just hoarding them; we are using them and placing them and leaving them. So we're really redistributing them. So there's still a benefit to other players, just in different parts of the world.
Right. Yeah. They are an amazing resource to have here. So
here we are crossing another ocean on a single block wide bridge. This is a good time to mention, in the previous video, we ran across a dirt sign with the date May 30th, 2025.
Yes.
In our previous video. And we have some information about that. We actually found out more about that, and we can discuss that. I want to talk about that maybe a little bit later in the video. But that turned out to be a lot more interesting than we thought it would be.
Yes, it was. We left our sign on there for spoiler alert, and not long after we posted our video, Brian found a video on YouTube with the people who created that structure, that dirt date, and when they spawned into the world, they had left the world right after creating the sign, I guess, and they came back into the game, and the sign was right in front of them, and they went to look at it, and our spoiler alert sign was on it.
Yeah, so our sign got into their video, which was really a trip.
Yeah. Our paths crossed, and at that point we were ahead of them by probably 10,000 blocks or so.
Yeah, maybe less. We were really close to being at the same place at the same time. Yeah. We just didn't know it until we happened to catch their videos.
And as they explored, they came across our signs.
Yes, they found our signs both there and elsewhere.
Yes.
So it's really gratifying to see our signs in other people's videos. So if you're in this server and you see our signs, please take a picture, send it to us, put it in your own video, put your own sign there next to ours. We can have some community communication here. And it's a little bit of a history of the server. Of course, we know that eventually everything gets destroyed. This is an Anarchy server, but at least for a little while we can have some of the history in the form of signs.
Yes. Yeah. It's fun to read everybody's sign. And sometimes while we're playing, other players will mention our signs.
Yeah, because we have been leaving them everywhere. This is not our first highway exploration. We have explored other stretches of highway before. And we've left signs in lots of places. So now people are starting to come across them.
Yeah. Right now we're just doing some exploration. Came upon the stair step down.
So these stair steps most likely are just, somebody's mine. They needed resources, so they dug a mine. But sometimes there's more there. So we have to check them out at least as much as we reasonably can. And that's what we're doing here. These little hidey holes are where secrets are more likely to be found. Anything that's on the surface and more obvious is also more likely to have already been griefed or looted.
Yes. I tend to think that if I'm burying my treasure, then other people are burying their treasure. So that's where I want to look. I want to see down below if people have buried chests and beds.
We do look for secret entrances to underground bases, and we have found a few. You have to really keep your eyes open. Sometimes they're easier to spot at night because there will be a light source and that you can follow and find where it's coming from and discover an entrance to something. This here is a big crater. This is some pretty thorough destruction. Whatever's left is probably just the basement of whatever was on top there that's totally destroyed now.
So sometimes in these mountains, the trail goes through the mountain, but sometimes we'll find things in there. Not very often, but for the most part, they are just a pass through. But we have found things in there.
Yeah, people have camped out there. They've dug out little mines there, little shelters. There's a stair step down right there. And did we explore that one?
I don't remember.
We don't necessarily explore all of them, but there I go.
Yeah.
But we do explore most of them. And I would love it if they would dig one block higher so you wouldn't hit your head the whole way down.
Ow, 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 ow.
This is, maybe Jimmy Hoffa will be down there. Maybe I will discover Jimmy Hoffa. But so far, mostly we just discover some abandoned mines.
So I'm digging, looking for treasure, because you never know if somebody's going to bury something behind some dirt.
That would be, we would do it.
Yeah.
So somebody else might too. So if the path just ends in some suspicious dirt, then we'll just clear it out, just make sure there's nothing else behind it.
Yep.
There are players that use cheats and hacks to find things, to see through floors and walls, and that's one way to do it. It's really just not our style. We're trying to do this more or less in the vanilla game.
Yeah.
So to find hidden stuff, you have to be more of a detective.
You have to be willing to dig,
Yeah.
get dirty.
Yeah, you have to, if something looks suspicious, you have to check it out. So I think at this point, we're going back up. We had explored that as well as we could. we're sitting beside each other as we are playing, so we're communicating as we go. So I've explored another part of that area, and we have agreed that, you know, we're good here. We've explored it all that we want to, so we're ready to move on.
Yeah. We don't. The only time we ever get into chat really is to talk to other players.
Yeah, I'll usually have something snarky to say. For this one, I believe our goal was to get to 30,000.
Yes.
The Z 30,000 mark. The Z 30,000 mark. One thing that has always struck me as odd is that the rightmost number in Minecraft is the Z-axis. The middle number, which is measures up and down, is the Y-axis.
Yeah.
But that on a graph, that's not the right order.
No.
So it can be a little confusing.
This was kind of unusual to me because it's right along the path. It's right at 27,000. And anybody who's traveling along that axis is going to find this. So whoever created it wasn't trying to hide it.
Right. This is not. This is not. There's no attempt to hide it.
No.
It is most likely just a quickie mine to get some materials. You need materials. You dig a mine. You get what you need, and then you move on.
Yeah.
But you never know. There could be something cool hidden down there, and there's only one way to find out.
Yeah. Every time I get on ladders that are high, I have most of the time I try to have my bucket in my hand, because if I fall, I might be able to save myself.
Yes, you can do the water bucket save and not die. At some point we may use elytra in a way that we don't right now. But right now we are exploring the overworld on foot. We do have elytra. That's something we may talk more about later, but we're not using it right now. We are walking, or sometimes running, the overworld highway to see what's there.
Yeah. Brian mentioned elytra. It's something that doesn't really benefit us right now. It's also, there's no phantoms, so we can't repair it that way. The only way, and it is a valuable resource. Oh, okay, so this was an area that we came to.
Yeah, with some signs.
Mm-hmm. Someone tried to create a cobble generator.
Yes, and it's a failed experiment.
Mm-hmm. And they were here recently. That one was May 2025.
Yeah, so this was not too long before we came across it. And so this was some potential evidence that a cobblestone generator doesn't work on this server. We haven't tried it yet. We just haven't needed cobblestone in that volume. But apparently this person tried it and it didn't work. Now we're just looking for any other hidden things.
Yeah.
But I love to see the signs. It's nice to see someone leaving a note. You never know when these notes will be found by someone and put in a YouTube video.
They're little hidden gems, I think. I think Brian is trying to figure out where he wants to put a sign.
Yeah, when I find signs like this, I usually put one of hours. I like to add one to the collection. We don't always, but often. That person was traveling on May 29th, traveling the highway, and that was just a few days before this was recorded, so we missed him only by a bit.
Yes, and monsters are spawning here. There's 2 creepers, like...
Yeah, the extremely dangerous creepers, and they are spawning with a decent level of light over there.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't know what they've got going on as far as the monster spawning on this server, but it's not normal.
I think, oh yes, this was when they were acting weird. They didn't see us.
Yeah,
Did you see how close I got to the zombie, and he did not come toward me?
Yeah, zombie didn't follow.
No. But, although they didn't see us, like the creepers, for example, they wouldn't see us, but they would still charge.
Right.
When you got close to them, but they didn't approach you. It was bizarre.
I think they fixed that, though.
Yeah, because that definitely changed.
Yeah, that's not a problem anymore. May have had a slight glitch in the Matrix, but no more. The hostile mobs are more dangerous than ever now.
Oh, right here, Brian is wanting lava, a bucket of lava, so we can be destructive.
Yes, I decided I better keep a bucket of lava handy, and we just came across some lava. Exploring like this and traveling like this, the inventory can tend to fill up, so you gotta prioritize, you gotta move some things around, and you gotta carry the essentials on you without getting overloaded. You gotta be able to carry the loot that you find.
Yeah.
So you got to have a few inventory slots open to do that. We have shulkers, we have inner chests, but we're not traveling with anything that we would be sad about losing if we died.
Yeah. We try to travel light.
Usually you can find food, you can find resources as you go. Yeah, look at that. The zombies are not following you.
Didn't even notice me. I am not sad about that.
Just ignored you. And we carry on.
That was an interesting find. The cobblestone generator failed experiment.
We haven't tried it yet. We should try it at some point. Cobblestone generators are not that complicated, so it's surprising that it didn't work for that person.
Yeah.
But some things on this server just don't work like they do, in a vanilla single player world.
Right. The redstone doesn't work like it's supposed to. Water doesn't function as it should. It doesn't carry things.
Right. So some of the automation that you might build in a single player world, it just doesn't function right here. It kind of keeps you from getting to late game resources. It kind of keeps you in the mid game unless you have some kind of cheat or hack that you're using, and a lot of players do.
Yeah. Also, there's no ancient debris.
Yeah, we did an extensive search and found none.
And we were far enough out. There was no other player activity where we were.
Yeah.
It was virgin territory.
Yeah.
And there was none.
So, and we know some players have netherite tools. So somebody's getting them somewhere. in some way that is not just typical vanilla play.
Yeah. I did read in the chat once, a while back, that whoever created this server disabled ancient debris beyond a certain point. So supposedly there's ancient debris in the nether spawn area, but beyond that there is none. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know. We can test it out sometime, but the nether spawn area is pretty trash.
It's a wreck.
Yeah.
It's a wreck. It's the ceiling. We'll have to make a video about that. But there's lava. Somebody just went up to the ceiling and just put lava source blocks up there, and it pours all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, it's even getting to the nether spawn area past that lava curtain is quite a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. We had to go far out, and then we had to go far out in the overworld in order to get there.
We are continuing on again.
Just traveling along the highway. We've talked about widening it, making the space taller, wider, easier. So I'm laughing because somebody was blown up by a creeper. To make it easier to travel. Of course, it's going to get destroyed eventually, but
most of it is just like this, 1 block wide. Mm-hmm. There are places where it's 2 or 3 blocks wide, and that's nice. You get luxury lanes.
A witch got me.
Ah, yeah. This world has a lot of creepers and witches, more so than zombies and skeletons.
Yeah.
They seem to be everywhere.
We mentioned creepers a lot because they're serious here. They are serious. Like, in a vanilla world, single player world, if you have armor on and you get, assaulted by a creeper, it's most likely not going to kill you in one shot. But in here, it will. Yeah. Every single time.
They are overpowered. So, yeah, that's the main thing that you have to look out for. Creepers will take you out in one shot.
I think the only way that they've not done that is if we... Oh, there's one on the left. Yeah. Is if we are... if they blow up while we're running past them and we're jumping... I think they've not killed me that way. Or if they're a few blocks away, they won't. But if they are right next to you, you will die every single time.
So we bypassed that village because the village is really, there's, for the most part, nothing to see.
Yeah. So I would like to mention in the Japanese players who created that dirt date sign, they were here in this place before us.
Yes, because they did a follow-up, we mentioned that, a follow-up video where they picked up where they left off and our sign was there, so they picked up after we were there.
Right.
So in their follow-up video, we saw some of this, and it was different.
Yeah. They met up with another player and got end crystals and started blowing shit up with end crystals. So some of the damage is because of that.
Yeah, they did some griefing of their own.
Yeah.
I respect it. It's expected. It's fine. Now look at this.
A bunch of water bottles. Yeah.
We do not have the space for all those water bottles, but you know what? No. They have some bows that are in better condition.
And I totally took one. Yeah.
Thanks. I think chests like this, they're gonna be looted. In fact, these have more in them than I would expect, given their location.
Yeah.
Because anyone looking around this area is going to find that. This is just a big ass structure.
It is, yeah. And we did go in there. We went in here after. Is this the one? Yeah, the Japanese players went in.
I believe so.
I believe so, yeah.
Because there's water here.
Yeah.
And I had to plug it back up. But going through the water...
I'm trying.
There we go. So, yes,
Oh,
this
I glitched.
giant structure is hollow inside and has some stuff.
That hole right there, one of the Japanese players dug that.
Yes.
In their video, they are exploring this place, and they dug that hole that I just looked into.
So they explored this just before we did.
Yeah.
We may have just missed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very possible.
It's really cool to see someone doing the same thing that we are. I know that there's some rivalry between Western players and Japanese players, but I still think it's really cool to see somebody doing more or less the same thing that we're doing at almost exactly the same time.
Yeah, it's surreal. It is really cool to see another YouTuber doing exactly what we're doing.
I'd like to see more.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more. You are going up at the same time I went down.
Yeah.
This is again teamwork. We are exploring two different areas at the same time to cover more ground.
Yep.
But we are right next to each other, so I mean we can see each other's screens.
That's it. It's a bunch of nothing up there.
Dirt and torches.
Yeah, but they put torches so that mobs wouldn't spawn.
It's a lot of effort, though. I applaud the effort.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really far down.
It is really far down. I'm pretty sure I YOLO'd up off the side, though. Or maybe I didn't. No, I went down the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
While you're doing this, I'm downstairs.
Yeah.
I went down that lower area in under the floor, and down there is a labyrinth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was easy to get lost, and of course we have your camera perspective, but you will eventually make it down there too.
Yep. If I remember correctly, you found a bed down here.
Yeah, let's check that out. This should be fun.
I did not find a bed. I never met up with you, so I was never able to see where you found that bed.
It was between two rows of bedrock.
Okay. Yeah. This was interesting. Whoever created this did a lot of digging.
And we have a little potato garden in here.
I should have taken those potatoes.
And we can use potatoes.
That's my food of choice.
These random chests here and there. Mostly just with some building material and a little bit of minerals. Not a lot.
You can see Brian's gamer tag.
Yep, I'm already way farther down than you are.
Yeah, I could never figure out how he got where he was.
It was not easy to get where I was because these rooms are laid out in a pattern that doesn't flow logically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to get lost. Like that little turn goes to a dead end.
Yeah.
But if you take another turn, then
it goes into another place.
Right, you have another path. See, that's what I'm talking about.
It's like, yeah, it's a labyrinth.
This is all dug underground. This was a lot of digging. The lava pool that you saw a few layers up, I assume was for junk. So they could get rid of some stuff while they were digging.
Yeah. The stairs just went to nowhere.
As you're doing this, I'm talking to you. I'm sitting next to you, talking to you, saying, hey, I'm over here, and trying to describe to you how I got there. But
that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to find you. As I'm going, Brian and I are talking to each other, and he's trying to explain to me how he got where he was, and I just couldn't find it. I could not figure out how. I never could. I never found you that way. We ended up meeting somewhere else.
I was lucky to find my way out.
I think at one point I'm in an area and I just gave up and started digging down or up. I can't remember. I think it may have been down to get out because I could not figure out how to get out. I was looking. There's your gamer tag. So I was looking for your gamer tag.
There's not really a lot more to see other than what you're seeing, but this is still impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do remember seeing your screen, and you were at Bedrock.
Right.
And you found the bed.
Right.
And of course me, like, take the bed! So that bed could have very well been our Japanese friend's bed.
Possibly.
And we totally took it.
Yeah, which would be the second time if that were the case.
Yes, that would be the second time we took their bed, because at the place where they built the number sign, we took their bed.
So still a very impressive build. It's impressive that it is here and that it is still more or less intact.
Yes. I am still on the hunt, trying to find you.
I don't know what they plan to do with this. I mean, who knows? They have multiple floors and multiple chambers on each floor.
Yeah.
So it seems like they had a plan, but it's hard to see what that plan was. It's unfinished.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guess because there's not really anything here, there's not really any loot here, it's pretty much untouched. Nobody's coming here to destroy it because there's not really much to destroy.
Yeah, there's nothing really to take. Water. They have the water flowing there, but it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it'll push a player, but it won't push an item.
We still want to find out if it'll push mobs, because then we can create a mob farm. Or,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's one of the ideas that we had. We wouldn't mind some XP and some... Our XP never gets very high.
No. The only time we were able to get higher XP was when we were just stayed at our base, mining and building. And then I was able to enchant some stuff. So...
Yeah, so we did enchant a bit. But since we've been exploring, we've died enough that You just don't save up a lot of XP. But we haven't really needed it. We're not enchanting with it, and we're not really doing anything with it.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that it looks like we've just started the game.
Yeah, we've been in the server for, what, 10 months?
Something maybe? Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, look at that chamber. It's connected by that doorway, but why? What is the purpose of this layout?
Right. Yeah, these are just like questioning the builders, why did they do this? And these are questions we'll never get answered.
It may be that there wasn't a plan. Maybe this is just digging for resources, but this is not a very efficient way to dig for resources.
I think right now I'm still trying to get out.
So at some point, we're going to call it a day here. While you've been wandering around, I've also been wandering around. So we got this place pretty thoroughly searched.
Wandering around aimlessly, almost. We are very close to the 30,000 mark, though.
And that was our goal.
That was our goal.
So at some point we have to let this structure go and move on in the journey. But this was a lot of fun. This was a very impressive build to find.
So if you built this or dug this or whatever the case may be, if you are involved in this, let us know. This was a total accident.
Oh yeah. Well,
you see, I just started digging and boom, I find a chest.
Yeah.
That was empty, by the way.
Yeah. Somebody randomly just buried an empty chest. Maybe it wasn't empty when they buried it. Somebody found it. But
there's your gamer tag.
So you got down to my level, and then I went up.
Yeah.
So, if you dug this structure, let us know. If you dug this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Oh, I'm trying to get to you.
Yeah.
I was getting so fed up. Like, oh gosh, I'm not getting anywhere. And I'm getting lost. I don't know where I'm going.
And I'm sitting right by you trying to help, but I could not help. That's it. You're stuck. You're there forever. There's no way out.
I'm there forever. You're gonna see my bones.
At some point, yeah, you're just gonna have to go up. You know, up is out.
Yes. I couldn't get to up. Ah, there we go. Maybe. Oh, there's some stairs, yeah.
There we go. Right, and there's where we came in.
Yeah.
With the poison potato in the item frame.
Yeah. And
made
the way
it
out. There you are looking at me, waiting patiently.
Yeah, come on. Right, and that I just filled the hole that the Japanese players dug for safety. Safety first.
Yeah.
So we still need a moment to admire this structure. This is really awesome. Uh, some player is going to come along with a bunch of duped TNT and blow it to hell.
Yeah.
But for now,
we got to enjoy it for a little bit.
Yep, it stands as a monument.
Yep.
Jumping ahead to the 30,000 landmark, we have some pyramid walls covered in lava. Not the kind of thing we have seen at other milestones.
Yes. This was interesting. So, as we said earlier, we saw the Japanese players' video, and we saw their video ended at this marker.
Right. They finished theirs at 30,000, which was our goal as well.
However, when they got here, this was not here.
Yes, it was totally different.
There was at the 30,000 mark for them was a house with a tree, and that's how it ended. And I believe they may have had an end crystal floating too, but this right here, I believe it was probably about 15 hours difference from the time they posted the video to when we were here. So in a 15-hour, there's the tree right here. In 15 hours, many someones came and created this mess, wreaked havoc on this milestone.
We were speculating about who might have done it. It could have been the Japanese players, but we don't think so. At least they didn't seem to have the kind of resources that it would take to do this level of destruction. They had some end crystals, they had been blowing things up, but they didn't seem to have the resources to do this.
No. This, it just dawned on me that all of those tunnels that we just went into, they could have used, whoever dug those out could have done this.
That's possible.
Because they were only a couple hundred blocks away.
Right. That's very possible, and this certainly did take a significant amount of material and lava.
Yeah.
Here this is the most wrecked milestone we have found so far, and really the only one that's really badly destroyed.
Yeah.
I have no problem with destruction on an Anarchy server. It's part of the charm, if you can call it that. It's just surprising to see, and I would love to know who did it.
Yes, we would love to know who creates these fantastic wall pyramids that all it takes is a single bucket of lava to create an entire curtain that most people aren't even going to deal with. They're just going to go around. Why even bother? There's an end crystal, and the game was doing this weird glitchy thing, and we couldn't shoot at it. I think I finally was able to.
Yeah, that was wonky, but we decided to take that out. Bye.
Oh gosh. So yes, we would love to know who creates these structures. Just
if you can, take credit for your work. You should stand by your work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a sign at the 30,000 milestone, because there really is no marker anymore of any significance.
No.
So on top of all this gobbledygook, I'm going to place a sign. So at least temporarily there's something.
Yeah. That's those lava walls are just something else.
This is why I say we need more 2B2E content, because I like the series with players traveling the highway like we are. I like series where we're seeing kit drops and griefs and PvP. And I would like to see some videos of this very thing being made. When we saw the video with the date sign being made that we eventually found, it was a real trip. It's very rare that you get to actually see the creation of some of the things that you find here. So seeing it done was just very gratifying.
Yeah, it is. It's a trip to see that. So if you build these, please show us your masterpiece. These are incredible. These walls are incredible. They're amazing feats of engineering.
Well, this is not how we would typically end one of these journeys to a milestone, but I mean, that's about all we can do with all of this.
Yeah, here's where I noticed that there was a sign there. There was a structure for the 30,000.
Yeah, there was part of it left.
Yeah.
Built out of cobblestone.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
Yeah, it's
covered in water.
Yeah. And I'm swimming for some reason.
But we had to get in a boat to get around this. There's no real safe way to get around it. You can't go under it. I mean, you could, but you don't know like what's on the other side. You can't go through it because the lava just keeps coming, which, that's it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a really pretty effective. It's an effective barrier. I suppose you could. I mean, you could probably go through it, but it's not worth the effort.
No.
Just going around is a much more effective way to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching our video, and please comment, like the video, subscribe. If you are in the server and you see us, please say hello.
We probably won't kill you.
We probably won't, but